The poignant last words of 16 celebrities. 1.
It's better to burn out than to fade away.
Kurt Cobain. Cobain killed himself in 1994, aged 27. His last line was a quote from Neil Young. It comes from Cobain's suicide note. 2.
Money can't buy life.
Bob Marley. Marley died of cancer in 1981, aged 36. His final words were addressed to his son Ziggy. Bob Marley died in Florida, but was buried in Jamaica. 3.
Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow.
Steve Jobs. Jobs died of cancer in 2011, aged 56. He died at his Palo Alto home, surrounded by his family. 4.
Just don't leave me alone.
John Belushi. Belushi died of a drug overdose in 1982, aged 33. His friend Catherine Smith gave him the injection. She ignored his plea and was found guilty of manslaughter. 5.
My God, what happened?
Diana, Princess of Wales. Diana died in a car crash in 1997, aged 36. She didn't die immediately though. She took a look around and saw the bodies. After uttering her last phrase, she passed out and away. 6.
I'll be fine.
Heath Ledger. Ledger fatally overdosed in 2008, aged 28. His last words were addressed to his sister. She'd warned him not to mix drugs he knew nothing about. 7.
This is no way to live.
Groucho Marx. Marx died in 1977, aged 86. He had outlived his brother Chico by 16 years. Marx's health had been failing for months. 8.
Put in my coffin a deck of cards, a mashy niblick, and a pretty blonde.
Leonard Chico Marx. Chico died in 1961, aged 74. His last humorous request was addressed to his wife. 9.
One never knows the ending. One has to die to know exactly what happens after death, although Catholics have their hopes.
Alfred Hitchcock. Hitchcock died in 1980, aged 80. It was kidney failure, and the director knew it was coming. He'd had a priest serve a mass in his home and made a confession. 10.
We had a death pact. I have to keep my half of the bargain. Please bury me next to my baby. Bury me in my leather jacket, jeans and motorcycle boots. Goodbye.
Sid Vicious. The punk rocker deliberately OD'd on heroin in 1979, aged 21. He had killed his girlfriend Nancy 4 months prior. In his death note, Vicious claimed it was a suicide pact. 11.
Of course I know who you are. You're my girl. I love you.
John Wayne. Wayne died of stomach cancer in 1979, aged 72. He'd survived lung cancer just a few years earlier. His last words were spoken to his daughter, Asa. 12.
You see, this is how you die.
Coco Chanel. The perfume legend died in 1971, aged 87. She died in her sleep after falling ill the day before. Coco's last words were addressed to her maid. 13.
I'm losing.
Frank Sinatra. Sinatra died in 1998, aged 82. He was in hospital after suffering his second heart attack. 14.
I finally get to see Marilyn.
Joe DiMaggio. The baseball legend died in 1999, aged 84. He'd never gotten over his love for Marilyn Monroe. Joe outlived Marilyn by 37 years. 15.
Say goodbye to Pat, say goodbye to Jack, and say goodbye to yourself, because you're a nice guy.
Marilyn Monroe. Monroe died of a barbiturate overdose in 1962, aged 36. Her friend Peter Lawford was the last one to speak to her. He called her on the phone, and this was her goodbye. Jack was President John F. Kennedy. 16.
No, you certainly can't.
John F. Kennedy. JFK's life ended too abruptly for any parting words. The last thing he said was in answer to Nellie Connolly's comment.
You can't say the people of Dallas have not given you a warm welcome.